What I think about alcohol is alright, I guess. It's kind of addictive in a way. Although I've heard that alcohol usually doesn't get you addicted as fast as other drugs, but alcohol is kind of addictive in a way. It's very addictive, actually. Like, it's as addictive as heroin, nicotine, and things like that. Like, I really like nicotine, but nicotine is kind of a problematic drug. So is alcohol. Like, you can drink every now and then, and you can smoke every now and then, and I think you'd be fine. But smoking every day, a pack or two a day, is very bad for your lungs. So, and chewing might be a little safer, but chewing is almost as bad because you can lose your jaw and things like that. And that's pretty scary, honestly. Like, that's one of the scarier things about tobacco. And I heard that smoking actually causes mouth cancer more than chewing. So, you kinda gotta be careful what you're doing. But I think to each their own, really. Like, people can do what they want. The only time I think people are bad is when they're doing, like, immoral things, like hurting others or something like that. Like, there's no reason to really say that people who do kratom or drink alcohol or smoke a cigarette are really bad, because, like, there's a lot of vices in this world, and I think those things are a lot more better for you than, or better morally than some of the things that you can be doing. Like, you just gotta learn how to live this life, I guess, in a way. And if alcohol is one of those things that helps you calm down at night or something like that, like, what's the big deal about it? Like, it's not really that bad in that way. But if you're using it to abuse it and constantly abusing it, it's probably really bad for you. You probably should stop. But I shouldn't be saying anything really, because I use kratom like a madman, and, like, I really like kratom. I think kratom's one of the more pleasurable substances out there, but it can be addictive too. And even though I think kratom does have legitimate medical uses, like, you can use it for, like, opioid disorders or, like, things like blood pressure or diabetes, but it's so addictive. It's just not really good to be addicted to anything, I don't think. So, I think whatever you do in your life, it's your choice, and you gotta live with the consequences if you keep doing it. And, you know, in the afterlife, when you're dead from something like alcohol or something, you probably will look at your life and be like, man, I really wish I chose a different path. And kratom could be pretty much the same thing, honestly. Like, you could be doing it, and then maybe in 20 years you have heart disease or something like that. Or hypertensive heart disease. Because I read this thing that said that pure mitragynine causes hypertensive heart disease in mice and rats. So, it is what it is. And I don't think kratom really causes hypertensive heart disease because, like, people have used it for centuries, and even though in America we use it way more, like higher doses, and not really thinking about the consequences. And I don't think kratom should be illegal. I think kratom should be regulated and treated like marijuana or alcohol or tobacco. Because like things like kratom, like, they seem to ingrain themselves in your life. Like, you do it before you do a hobby or something like that. It's not really like tobacco where, like, you can do it and smoke a cigarette where you're doing a hobby and all that kind of stuff. But, like, kratom probably associates itself with, like, things like playing video games or walking down the street or something like that. And, like, things like addictive substances, like, they can be hard when you're kind of in that mind state where you're like, oh, one second, let me think what I was gonna say. I forgot what I was gonna say. Things like addictive substances seem to cause triggers for things you're doing, like if you're gonna walk down the street and usually you take kratom before you go for a walk, like, that can be a trigger for that, because you could be thinking in your head like, oh man, I really wish I had kratom or alcohol or a cigarette right now, because that's usually what I do before I go for a walk or during the walk, because cigarettes usually you smoke during your walk. But like I think addictive substances can be a good thing though, because like they can really help a lot, but like they also have negative problems to them, like the whole withdrawing thing, and like not feeling quite right when you don't have it, and things like that. Like you really gotta be careful with addictive substances, because like you can really go down a dark path. And I just hope everybody who is dealing with addiction right now can hopefully find a way out, or find a way to create a safe use pattern. Because like you don't have to quit, you just have to learn how to use it safely. And that's what a lot of people don't really believe, but like, yeah, you can be addicted to something and slowly learn how to create safe use with kratom or alcohol or anything. And I think alcohol and nicotine are probably harder to create safe use with, because they carry a lot more negative effects to them. But and plus they're a lot more addictive than kratom, I think. Because even though I'm kind of addicted to kratom, I don't really have a problem going 6 or a week without it, or however long I have to go without it. Like, originally the 3 days suck, but after that, like, I feel fine, and I'm not really feeling like shit like I do. I don't really withdraw from kratom, but, like, I tend to feel like shit mentally. Like, I just kind of, it's almost like my brain is rubbing up against something, and this happens with all kinds of different things that I experience, like weird or bad thoughts. Like, I'll be thinking something, and it's almost like my brain is rubbing up against something that is kind of uncomfortable and not really fun. But I think kratom does cause that in a way. Like, you don't feel mentally as confident or anything like that. Like, you just kind of feel like shit for 3 days. And I read that on the internet on a study that usually kratom withdrawals only last 3 days. So I'm probably withdrawing, but it doesn't really feel like a withdrawal. It more feels like a psychological dependence to it. And I've gone 4 days so far without it, and now on the 4th day, I actually feel kind of alright. Like, I don't feel like I want it. I don't really feel like I really need it. Although sometimes I do think about it. Like, I'll be like, man, kratom would be really nice right now, but like, I feel like I could quit if I needed to. It's just that I like it a lot, and I don't really want to quit in any way. And that could just be being an addict, but it doesn't really matter either way. So I just got to learn to keep my habits in check. So, because nicotine is the most annoying habit that I have, because I'll run out of it and I'll just feel like shit for a really long time. Like, I almost think nicotine has a longer withdrawal period than kratom, because I feel so tense when I don't have it. And I almost wonder why nicotine is even legal. I think tobacco should be banned, but like nicotine substitutes, like pure nicotine, should be legal in the United States. Even though I know that a small percentage of people will probably illegally grab tobacco and use it, but like, if we had pure nicotine substitutes and that was the only thing that was legal, like, it would be way better for society. A lot less people will die, and also a lot more people will be healthier. So, because pure nicotine, seems a lot safer than tobacco. It's probably because tobacco has a lot more carcinogens in it than pure nicotine. And I know that pure nicotine isn't really considered a carcinogen, but there's a lot of studies that say that pure nicotine damages DNA, and that increases your risk of cancer and things like that. And also pure nicotine also increases tumor growth. So I think it's honestly a carcinogen, but it isn't considered one right now until maybe more studies come out and more people realize that, yeah, maybe this stuff is a carcinogen. But taking one carcinogen versus 60 of them is a lot safer than taking those 60. Because, like, one carcinogen could have less of an effect on your body than 60 of them. So, I wish this world wasn't such a market, like, trying to sell, not really thinking about what happens to people when they take it, like, or eat it, or whatever. Like, aspartame supposedly causes heart disease now, so does the sulfame K, which Zins, which I really like. I really love Zins. Zins are one of my favorite products in the world right now because it helped me pretty much quit smoking for the most part, even though sometimes I do smoke. And like Zins have a sulfame K, and sulfame K has been linked to heart disease. And pure nicotine, I don't think is linked to heart disease, but it could be. I'm not really too sure because I've never found anything that strictly says that, oh yeah, nicotine causes heart disease. I just hope that I made a comment on Facebook on the Zen Company website that I told them to make a nicotine product, a nicotine Zen Company product that would be made with like monk fruit or like stevia or something, because like I feel like that would be a lot safer for consumers than like a sulfame K. And I hope that they really do take my comment seriously and maybe release a Zen Natural or something like that, because that would be a lot better for your body, even if it was a little more expensive. And I just want safer products in this world, like things that aren't just sold to increase consumer buying and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, I'm gonna let you guys go because I've been talking for quite a while and I don't really know what I'm talking about. So I'll let you guys go for now. I'll talk to you another time. Bye.